Okay, today we're going to address the elephant in the room. Baltimore City might be the most misunderstood place in Maryland and maybe even in the United States. It might be one of the most misunderstood cities in America because depending on who you talk to, Baltimore is either the greatest hidden gem on the East Coast or it's a place they would never move to in a million years. And honestly, neither of these people are completely right because Baltimore isn't one thing. Baltimore is dozens of completely different neighborhoods that all feel like separate cities. You can drive 5 minutes and feel like you're somewhere entirely different. So if you're thinking about moving to Central Maryland, and you've already watched our videos on Anne Arundel County, Howard County, and Baltimore County, today we're tackling Baltimore City. Just like the Ravens, we're here to tackle it today. The good, the bad, and maybe the things that nobody will tell you. And the 3 neighborhoods that I think most buyers should actually have on your radar. So let's go ahead and get into it. If we haven't met before, my name is Jeremey Weiss, and I'm the team leader of the Helpers Group right here in Central Maryland. We help buyers relocate throughout Central Maryland, including Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Howard County, and Anne Arundel County, and anywhere around. And this entire series has been designed to help people figure out where they actually belong before making a move. Because choosing the wrong neighborhood can completely change your experience living right here in Maryland. Now, before we jump into talking about Baltimore City, if you're considering moving anywhere here in Central Maryland, make sure you grab our free Central Maryland Relocation Guide. Inside, you'll find community breakdowns, commute information, cost of living considerations, and things locals know that Google doesn't always tell you. The link is below, or you can just send me a message and we'll send it over to you directly. Let's get started with probably the most recognizable neighborhood for relocation buyers, and that is Federal Hill. Or if you're here in Baltimore, we refer to it as Fed Hill. If somebody says, I want walkability, I want nightlife, I want restaurants, I want to be close to everything, Federal Hill is usually near the top, if not on top of their list. And why is that? Pretty simple. Fed Hill offers you some incredible skyline views. You can get some amazing views from rooftop decks. There's walkability, restaurants and bars everywhere, access to the inner harbor, and a strong young professional presence. The vibe here is energetic. There's always something happening in Fed Hill. But here's what people don't always realize. In Fed Hill, you're trading space for location. Many homes in Fed Hill are the traditional Baltimore-style row homes. And those homes are smaller, and they sit on smaller lots, and parking is extremely limited. So depending on where you live, parking can become an Olympic sport. So if your dream is to have a home with a bigger backyard, a 3-car garage, and a quiet cul-de-sac, Federal Hill is probably not going to be your spot. Federal Hill is a great spot for young professionals, people with an active lifestyle, and people who prioritize experiences over square footage. Because Fed Hill is walking distance to M&T Bank Stadium, home of the Baltimore Ravens, as well as Camden Yards, home of the Baltimore Orioles. Next up, we're going to talk about Canton. And honestly, if Federal Hill and the suburbs got together and had a baby, that would be Canton. Canton gives buyers some amazing things. It gives them waterfront access, walkability, some amazing restaurants, shopping, but it can also give you a little bit more of a slightly bigger or better residential feel. It's a little further outside of the downtown proper, but it's also one of the more balanced neighborhoods in the city. Buyers relocating from DC, Northern Virginia, and Philadelphia often love Canton because it offers city living without feeling overwhelmingly urban. But here's the reality about Canton. You may love Canton, and guess what? So does everybody else. So what that means is demand generally stays high, competition can be strong, and homes may not be quite as affordable as other parts of the city. Also, in Canton, parking can still be a challenge. It is a little bit smaller, so sometimes to get a parking spot there, yeah, it can be a little bit more of a challenge. So I want to take a quick pause for a second here, because if you're watching this and trying to compare Baltimore City to Howard County, Anne Arundel County, or Baltimore County, this is exactly why we created our Central Maryland Relocation Guide. Because every area around Central Maryland has just a completely different personality. And that guide helps you figure out which one actually fits your lifestyle. The link to it is below. And again, feel free to send us a message and we're happy to send it over to you. Let's talk about the third neighborhood, and that's the neighborhood that surprises the most people. And that is the neighborhood of Locust Point. Every time I take buyers to Locust Point, I get the same reaction. Buyers are like, wait, this is still Baltimore? This isn't The Wire. What is this? And honestly, I get it. Locust Point feels different. Like when you drive in, it just feels different. You have water views. You have historic charm with a lot of the row homes. You have Fort McHenry, which brings some amazing history. You have walkability and a strong neighborhood feel. But compared to some of the other neighborhoods in Baltimore, it feels quieter, more residential, and more tucked away. But because of that, inventory tends to be limited. So when homes come available in Locust Point, people pay attention to that. The downside, limited inventory means limited opportunities. And because Locust Point has become increasingly desirable, pricing in Locust Point reflects that demand. Locust Point is amazing for buyers who want city life without feeling like they're constantly in the middle of the action, but they are close enough to everything along the way to be able to be part of the action. So folks, here's the thing about Baltimore City. Most people ask, is Baltimore good? You're asking the wrong question. The real question you want to ask is, which Baltimore neighborhood fits my lifestyle or what I'm trying to achieve here in Baltimore? Because Federal Hill feels different than Canton. Canton feels different than Locust Point. And all of those neighborhoods feel completely different. So if you're thinking about moving here to Central Maryland, we would love to help you figure out exactly which location here in Central Maryland would fit the lifestyle that you're looking to live. Down below, you'll find the link for our relocation guide, and you can feel free to download it. It's free for you. In addition, take a look at our other videos on the channel where we talk about living in Howard County, Anne Arundel County, and Baltimore County, just to give you a really good idea of what each area is like and what to expect when you live in these areas. Hopefully this helps you with your move here to the Central Maryland area. As always, I'm Jeremey Weiss, team leader of the Helpers Group right here at Keller Williams Flagship. And as we always ask, how can we help? Thanks so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.